Good afternoon, my friends. It's me, Violetta, again. My son Leszek will be asking me questions that I don't know them yet.
Okay.
And I'm dying to learn.
So this is a subscriber appreciation video.
Oh, hello. Nice.
And it'll be questions from the subscribers from the comment section. So the first question's from DNA Leguilu. I'm not sure how to say that. The question is, can you please tell us what's going to happen now after Mueller's speech yesterday? What's going to happen next?
With what?
Well, now that Mueller had his speech yesterday.
Small lights it's like a chandelier that the lights are started flicking around. So probably more people will be thinking about impeachment. More bright lights will be in the chandelier.
Okay. Well, there's a question on that, but we'll get to that later. In the previous reading, you saw Prince Harry and Meghan moving somewhere hot, green, and away from the cities, away from the commotion. This question is from I.M. Will Harry and Meghan move to Australia or maybe British Virgin Islands?
I think they want to do some work in Africa. Still going back to the places where they were meeting each other when they felt important. So somewhere in Africa.
You see them moving to Africa?
I don't know if they are moving, but I see them in Africa. Doing those works that they were most happy doing.
Okay. So
they will be traveling, but I think they will be going back somewhere to the roots where they met.
I didn't know they met there.
That's my feeling. And they want to do the job that Diana was doing. So they want to walk in her shoes.
So this next question is from Roxanne M.
Hello, Roxanne.
Why is the Queen inviting Trump to the UK next week?
It's not that she's inviting him. He sent the invitation to her. She opened the letter. Okay. We will deal with it. He invited himself. He sent his people to invite him to see Queen Elizabeth.
Now that it's starting to make sense, because the next question is from Eldred Tidbury. Now that Theresa May is stepping down, do you have a sense of who will become the new PM in the UK? The next Prime Minister?
I don't know that. The old saw was held by two people. Two men were holding a saw and cutting the trees. You remember those old pull and push saw? There will be a lot of pulling, pushing. I don't know who will be the next one, but there will be someone who has maybe background from place where they were working hard with the hands. Someone who had...
That could be anybody.
No, but it was working with his hands. And that's what I see. I can't really say more. It's like two pulling, pushing. Two guys were cutting the tree.
Just do 5 card reading.
There is two. Someone who they think is outsider. He doesn't belong to the rich group of people. He was working with his hands, whose heart will be for the country. He wants to go to the world, build up the statue of England, bring the England back, and it will be like marriage card, but it might be that someone who will need work in a cooperation with someone else. So it's not that he is only one, there will be two people cutting the same tree. So I know that it has to be one, but I think this is a puzzle. So I'm not going to say if he was working with Theresa before, Theresa May, and was on the same party. Maybe that's the answer. Really puzzling.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jennifer Portis.
Hello, Jennifer. And DNA, sorry, I didn't say DNA hi, because I was just thinking that a week ago we were doing my DNA, so and I was distracted by that. That's the first sitter, the first person who asked the question, sorry.
So Republican Congressman Justin Amash from Michigan is denouncing Trump for obstruction and declaring that President Trump's conduct could be considered impeachable. Will other Republicans follow?
You mean, is he the piper?
Yeah.
Because a long time ago I said that GOP needs a piper, because they are like mouses. It's still very, very foggy. It's not that they are afraid to go to the flame. It's like fog, and behind the fog there is a candle. And they are afraid to go to the candle, so they are stopping in a distance from the candle. Like flies are going to the moths. They are flying to the candle. This one was stopping and going away. So not yet. Eventually, yes, it will pull some fire. Moths will go to the candle no matter what. But right now it looks like there is too much fog and they are not getting to burn themselves.
Mm-hmm. So, criminal law in America requires several factors for conspiracy, to conclude evidence for conspiracy. So a motive, an agreement, the collaboration, the crime, and the cover-up are just a few of these factors, but they're the most important. The Mueller case has substantial evidence supporting each of these points, except for having the agreement between Putin and Trump. Does evidence of this agreement exist?
Magic crown. It's magic. No one is touching the crown. And it's going and landing on Trump's head. It's a magic. You don't see how it's ending there. You can't catch anyone doing this because it's magical and flying and touching, ending on his head. There will be no enough information. We wouldn't be able to see with our eyes, hear it, and have anything on the written. It's just by magic something was done the way that ended. So we see, all of us are seeing the magic, but we don't know how it was exactly made. So Mueller was seeing the magic happening and he couldn't put his hands on. It's like a magician will pull the bird out of his hat. As a child, I was watching and thinking, how if I would grab my hand into the hat, would I be lucky? Magic is unpredictable. We can't explain it. We know that it exists, but we can't explain it, how it happens. So that is the problem with Mueller's situation.
That's the keystone in the whole thing, is to have the agreement, and then Trump would be out.
But if that was magically speak out between two of them and they are not going to say anything?
Well, like, it's easy to have an agreement just by implying what you want and someone implying what they want without actually saying, hey, I'll do this.
So maybe they will figure out how the magic was working eventually, but not right now. Just Mueller is saying, I have seen how it happened, but I can't prove it. That was his point of view. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for ordering readings with me. I love to hear from you. Thank you. Bye-bye. I would like to invite you to the private reading with me. Please visit www.psychicvioletta.com. Click Book Online. Choose the type of reading. Choose the length. Choose the date and the time. Fill out your informations. Click the Pay Now button with your credit card or debit card. And you're all done.